Our wood comes in log run form, meaning that we get peeled veneers from the mill and have to cut it to size and grade everything to determine which part of the skateboard that particular piece will end up at. The cleanest veneers end up on the top and bottom as face veneers. The veneers with small defects end up in the middle of the deck. These two are grading the veneers so that they can be processed according to grade and specified layup. A painted deck will use all natural veneers, including faces, which are being sanded here. The majority of decks, however, have dyed veneers. To dye the veneers, we soak them into a vat of hot water mixed with the specified color. The vat is placed in a pressurized vessel where the colored water will penetrate throughout the veneer. Then the colored wet veneer is dried in a 50-foot oven. The faces are sanded at the back end of the dryer. After this, the veneers are now prepped for lamination. Here the worker is sending the veneers through a glue spreader. We use a PVA glue that is water-based. We would never use an epoxy or toxic chromium-based catalyst, like most of our competition. The glued veneers are stacked on the back side of the spreader, 4 boards high. Our decks are cold pressed, which ultimately makes the strongest board. The glue slowly dries and cures under pressure for 1 hour, as opposed to hot pressing, which takes 2 minutes and weakens the wood in the process. The investment in machinery to cold press is much more than hot pressing because we need much more presses to get the same volume as one hot press, but we wouldn't have it any other way. Once the decks come out of the press, they will continue to cure stacked for at least 1 week before cutting. We have taken a lot of the labor out with CNC machines, where the holes are drilled, the shape is cut, and the edges are rounded, all in one step. One of our company's theories is to invest money into machinery that will increase efficiency, and these machines have met their objective. The shapes are as accurate as the program that is sent to the machine. No more varying shapes due to hand-cut templates or hand-routed boards. It also makes it easier on the workers. Hand routing to round the edges over is very hard on the wrists and is now a matter of loading the decks and pressing a button. All of our scrap wood is recycled and made into particle board. We also recycle just about every other waste product from our production. Bladder sanding is easier because of the accuracy of the CNC, but still requires the most technique and finesse of any of our processes. Here the worker continues to round and smooth the edges, all the while checking his work. This sander smooths the surface and edges one more time before finishing. The clear coat we use in our spray line is water-based, as opposed to solvent-based, which virtually all of our competitors use in Mexico, the USA, or China. If we have the option at any point in our production, we will use the most worker and environmentally friendly material possible. Our equipment also sprays at the highest efficiency possible, meaning our clear coat ends up on the board and not in the air that we breathe or the spray booth filters. At the other end of the plant, we print heat transfers. The graphics are printed on plastic in reverse using, you guessed it, water-based inks, one color at a time. When all the colors are printed and dried, these girls check for quality and pass the transfers onto the transferring department. At this machine, we bond the transfers to the finished deck. The blue roller at 400 degrees Fahrenheit rolls the deck and transfers under pressure, softening both the ink and clear coat to the point that they fuse together. The plastic that we use to make the heat transfers will release from the fused ink, leaving that graphic on the deck. Some decks get a top heat transfer as well, while others might get a laser engraving like this one. After a final quality check, we shrink wrap the deck with stickers and other cool stuff. The decks are boxed and shipped to the brands who distribute them all over the world. We believe that we make the best quality decks on the market and do it all with the environment and workers in mind.